Today's NFL Mailbag is presented by Manscaped. Get 20% off and free shipping on all their fantastic men's grooming products at manscaped.com/chat. That link, by the way, will be in the comments section and it'll be in the description. First up from Gary, who are some big names that could be cut like a surprise cut? Look, we will go more in depth with some of these names on a later full video for you guys. We will do some surprise cut candidates as the season goes along. As things sit right now, I think Zach Ertz is a very real cut candidate for the Philadelphia Eagles. There are also some bigger money guys who might not win their jobs for their respective teams. From Nothing But Topics, to the Falcons sign Golden Tate to replace Julio. Interesting idea there. I actually don't hate it. Look, Tate was not great last year. I would argue more of a slot receiver at this stage, which Russell Gage and kind of Calvin really could play if needed. My suspicion is that Atlanta is going to live in 12 personnel. One running back, probably Mike Davis, two tight ends, both Kyle Pitts and Hayden Hurst. If we're being honest, Hurst and Pitts are two of the top 4 pass catchers on that team. So I'm down to bring in Golden Tate. Nice veteran presence. We will see, however, what the Falcons choose to do. They could have added a receiver in the draft where they took Frank Darby. They did not. I am very curious what route they will end up taking. From Alex Hiddle, the Broncos have too many corners. So what about including one of their top 5 in a trade for Aaron Rodgers, because Green Bay might be getting rid of Jair Alexander? Quick aside, I don't know where the Jair Alexander trade rumor stuff has come from. Doesn't make any sense. Like, even if they move Rodgers, they got plenty of cap space now. They're going to pay him. But if they do want a corner, sure. You know, it's kind of a weird spot where it's probably would have to be Michael Ojemudia, because you just drafted Patrick Surtain, you signed Ronald Darby and Kerry Fuller. If they want Bryce Callahan, I'd rather keep him, but he's a veteran. He's better right now than Ojemudia is. So if that's the difference between getting Aaron Rodgers, yes, you do it. That's the route that you go. TJ Bird 9, if you were a defensive coordinator, do you stack the box and try and contain King Henry, or do you go 2 high safeties and help contain Julio and AJ? Either way, it's a nightmare for defenses. You're right. That is the situation now that Tennessee is able to throw at opposing defenses. In the end, even though Derrick Henry is the best running back in the NFL, I would rather try to get nickel and dime to death with shorter passes and runs than I would getting beat quickly by a deep shot to Julio Jones or AJ Green. So I would mix it up. I wouldn't always play too high, but I would rather allow Tennessee to run the football a little bit more effectively than dare them to throw it deep and then get burnt by Julio Jones. From Aaron Daniels, which receiver has more to prove, Waddle or Fuller? Good question. I lean right now towards Jalen Waddle. He's a rookie. He's a first-year player. We haven't seen anything out of him in the NFL, and he's coming back from injury. Now, there's argument to be Fuller. Like, he's in a contract year, got suspended last season. Once we prove he can stay healthy, but I've seen Fuller at his best. I know the injury stuff is real. I get that. But I haven't seen Jalen Waddle yet in the NFL. Because of that, I am going with Jalen Waddle. Now, speaking of the Dolphins here, who is their best receiver? Type in F for Fuller, type in P for Devontae Parker, that's my vote, by the way, or type in W for Jalen Waddle. Get your votes in for me right now in the comments section. From Landon Van Wingerden, if I got that last name wrong, I'm terribly sorry. Are the Detroit Lions going to sign Todd Gurley? The Rams are kind of rapidly becoming, or the Lions are becoming the Rams Northwest, or Northeast. Wow, terrible. Let's take it from the top. The Lions are becoming Rams Northeast with all the players that they've added, Jared Goff among them. The Todd Gurley I saw at the end of last season is not good. He was bad. Like, there's no way around it as far as I'm concerned. So, look, if he's cheap, sure, but look, you're fine at the running back spot. You have DeAndre Swift. You signed Jamal Williams. You drafted Jamar Jefferson. You added Ricky Moore. They don't need a running back. So because of that, we'll see. I think they could pass on, though, and be fine at the position. From Turd Boy, what players on the trade block will most likely be dealt? Again, I think Zach Ertz goes somewhere else via trade or release this offseason. I think for the majority of players, you're not going to see a trade right now outside of like Aaron Rodgers. There will be trades this offseason, but I think the majority of them will come as training camp moves along. Because teams right now are holding on their guys in case of injury, and they want to see what young players can do. As guys on their roster struggle, teams will look for upgrades. As players get hurt, they will look for replacements. The movement you see, for the most part, will come closer to the start of the 53-man roster cut-down deadlines. As mentioned, Manscaped and the brand new Lawnmower 4.0, they made today's show possible. You will get 20% off and free shipping on all Manscaped products at manscaped.com/chat. That's 20% off and the free shipping on everything. The Lawnmower 4.0 just released, brand new, works and looks fantastic, by the way. New ergonomic design, better charger, different shaving head lengths, so you can give yourself tight or a little bit of fluff down there if that's the way you want to roll with it. Plus a ton of other great men's grooming products. They are all available at manscaped.com/chat. That link right there, bottom of your screen below me, and will also be in the comment section and in the description. From Anishinad, chances the Seahawks trade for Stephon Gilmore. I'm not going to go that high. I think with where Seattle is at, the cost involved of adding Stephon Gilmore, I think they stand pat. That could change later on in the offseason. If we get through training camp and like Witherspoon looks bad or Flowers is bad or Reed regresses or whatever, or if there are injuries and Seattle gets concerned, then Gilmore does make sense. But he wants a new contract. So if you trade for him, you'd have to pay him as well, and that might be an issue right now for Seattle. LG34, chance the Falcons sign Richard Sherman. I am open to that idea. Now, the Falcons have kind of ignored the cornerback spot a little bit. They, of course, spent a first-round pick on A.J. Terrell. They have Kendall Sheffield, Isaiah Oliver. They signed Fabian Moreau. Darren Hall was a fourth-round pick. Do we trust those guys? A.J. Terrell, yes. Everybody else, not really. So I would explore this. Atlanta's had a weird offseason where they draft a tight end and they go, okay, they're trying to win games right now. They've also had a trading away of Julio Jones, which would imply more of a developmental type of season. So it's weird. If they do want to win games, I would call Sherman. If they are fine doing a little what I'll call reset year, then neither side will have much interest in the end. From B. Raby, what's your take on the odd tight end collection of Gruden and Mayock this year? Now, the Raiders right now, with no longer having Jason Witten, which I think is for the better, by the way, that tight end, they've got Darren Waller, Foster Moreau. Look, they've added Derek Carrier in previous years. They also signed UDFAs like Matt Bushman, Alex Ellis, and I see Nick Bowers too. The three are very clear, right? It's Waller, Moreau, Carrier, maybe Bushman impresses, and Nick's at his tight end 4. Honestly, though, carrying 6 tight ends in training camp is not that unusual. I think that's actually fairly normal at the position, especially if you're going to carry a fullback as well. Rashard Lee, if the Cowboys beat my Raiders, will you make Mitch wear a Dak jersey? We will have some bets involved between me and Raiders Report host Mitchell Renz on the Cowboys-Raiders game. We'll make something happen there, I promise you. David Kojak, which player should the Seahawks cut? I have mentioned this before. Some Seahawks fans don't like it, and that's fair. I get it. It's just an opinion in the end. I'd cut Trey Flowers. You save over $2 million. I think Witherspoon, DJ Reed. I kind of want to see what Pierre Desir and Trey Brown can do. I think those guys are better than Trey Flowers. Now, you could go the whole, like, Luke Wilson, Nick Bellore mold of cutting a player and bringing him back at a cheaper contract there. So I would cut, in the end, Trey Flowers, save myself some money in the process. If you want to be a part of these mailbag, folks, you got to subscribe. They're done live. So the only way to get your questions featured on the show is to join us during the live mailbag. So hit that big red button and subscribe today. From Ryan Merritt, Corey Davis had 65 grabs, 1,000 yards, 5 touchdowns last season. Is that the floor for Julio if he stays healthy? Honestly, if Julio's healthy for all 17 games this year, I would expect more production out of him. Now, maybe you get less, maybe you don't, but I would say more production would be my expectation for Julio Jones. Yes, A.J. Brown gets involved, but Julio should catch 75, 80 balls over a 17-game season at minimum in the end. They are back, ladies and gentlemen. The OBJ trade rumor question. Should the Niners check in on OBJ since they missed out on Julio Jones? I think from a cost perspective, current OBJ would probably be a little bit less than Julio. In the end, I think the answer is no. The Niners were never that involved because of the cost draft cap-wise, which they're light on, and salary cap, which they're also light on. Julio's not going to be that much cheaper. And I get it. It's a fun fit. There are always OBJ trade discussions and speculation. I don't see the Browns trading him right now, though. They're trying to win games. OBJ helps them do that, at least for the time being. From Marty Beats, should Seattle extend DJ Reed now instead of waiting? So in general, the sooner you extend a player, the more money you end up saving in the long run, if, of course, they are good. DJ Reed had, I would argue, a breakout year when pressed into duty last season for Seattle. I wonder, however, given his size and Seattle's less so mandated these days, size requirements, at least size preferences here, that Seattle might dare them to get one more season and then see what the cost DJ Reed is. And plus, if you're DJ Reed, if you believe in yourself, you want to wait too. Because a talented corner at his age hitting the open market with the cap jumping could get a pretty surprisingly large contract. I want you guys right now to spam the chat, flood it if you will, with your favorite NFL team. Get your votes in for me. What NFL team do you guys love the most? Connor F. Chances the Packers can still be a Super Bowl contender with Jordan Love. Thanks for the super chat, by the way, Connor. They exist in year one when Love wasn't even active last season. I would say very low. I think if our expectation is Jordan Love steps up in the same way that Aaron Rodgers did for Brett Favre, that's probably asking for too much. That's probably an unrealistic expectation for a young quarterback who did not play well the last time he was out there in the college football area. So, it's possible, yes. Likely, probably not. At least not immediately. From Miguel, should the Bills trade for Ertz or wait till the Eagles cut him? I would call their bluff. I don't think NFL teams are trying to get Zach Ertz at his age, his injury history, and his level of production in recent years. The dude offers literally nothing for you after the catch. Dude can't break tackles. He's like the new Jason Witten. He gets open, sure, but there's no yak involved. He just falls forward or gets tackled. Like there's nothing else there. So, trade? No. If and when he gets cut, different conversation. At that point, if I were the Bills, I would have some interest. MCM, better first season, Trevor Lawrence or Zach Wilson? Ooh. I'm going to say Trevor Lawrence. I think he's better. I would be lying, however, if I thought that I had the 100% confidence I want to have in Urban Meyer right now. Some just weird stuff from Jacksonville. So we'll see about Trevor Lawrence and Jacksonville. Talent-wise, I got to go Lawrence here. Authentical Football Highlights. Was the Eric Flowers trade dumb? I guess it depends on which side you're looking at it for. The Dolphins obviously paid him and then didn't get much back in a trade. But they're fine right now on the offense line. They have enough options to replace him. For Washington, kind of a weird shuffling of their O-line. I thought it was fine in the end for either side. Like I think that's just kind of a mutual beneficial / impactful, both positive and negative trade for either sides there. JTY Savvy Squad. Hey guys, what do you think the Seahawks' next move is? Also get to like and sub, best channel. Thank you, JTY. Everyone watching, make sure you like and subscribe. Thank you so much for that little plug there, buddy. Next move, I would hope it's extending Jamal Adams. I think roster, actual move-wise, it's not going to be overnight. I think they're going to let things develop in camp and in minicamp and all that stuff. But I would pay Jamal Adams sooner than later. For hype or 3, channel friend, what NFL player is most overrated? First off, great question, worthy truly of its own video. I would say currently, I want to throw out this name in here, and I think people are going to get mad at me. The A.J. Green we saw last year was not a good football player. He struggled. He was one of the worst receivers, frankly, on that Bengals team, which obviously outside of John Ross, things are not very good. I think we have crowned, and I love the upside. He had a great year, don't get me wrong there. This one is definitely going to cause some issues. I think we have crowned Josh Allen a little bit early. He was great last year. I'm not knocking him in any way in that category. I do want to see it again, however. It was 1 year. I want to see Josh Allen do it in back-to-back years. If he does, all right, consensus top 5 quarterback. For now, I'd put him top 10, not top 5. And one more quick name, Taysom Hill is not a good football player.